Well, I'm sitting here wondering, where's my long, tall baby now? Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering, where's my long, tall baby now? 'Cause somebody came and stole her, left me on the bottom side of down.
I used to take her out on Saturdays, and swinging we would go.
Yeah, I'd take her out on Saturdays, and a swinging we would go.
I would do most anything just to swing that gal once more.
All right, here we go. She always felt like a dream, right here in my hands. Any cat who's played around with her understands. Well, I'm bluer than a hound dog, barking up a tree, crying, please, 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 Big Bertha, come on home to me. Well, I hope I never find him, the one that took my gal away.
Yeah, I hope I never find him, the dude that took my cow away.
Cause if I do, I'm telling you, he'll have the devil to pay. She always felt like a dream, right here in my hands.
Any cat who's played around with her understands.
Well, I'm bluer than a hound dog, barking up a tree, crying, please, 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 Big Bertha, come on home to me.
Come on home to me.
Whoa, come on home, baby.
Well, I know she's just a golf club, Lord, she always sets me free.
Let me say it again.
Yeah, I said I know she's just a golf club, but she always set me free.
Let's wind it up.
So if you see my Big Bertha, tell that gal to hit a few for me. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Thank you, Hall of Famer.
Right back at it.
Ronnie Millsap featuring Vince Gill with Big Bertha. And I've got Randy Seymour on the line with me. He had a part in writing that great song there for Ronnie Millsap and Vince Gill. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brenda?
I'm doing great. I've played that song quite a few times here, and that's some good stuff. Tell me about that.
Well, just a secret to that song, anybody who buys a copy of it or plays it a lot like you do, if you're an avid golfer, then your handicap will go down. So it's actually very good for your game if you play Big Bertha. So
There you go.
aside from that, the song itself was created out of Carl Perkins' mind. He owned a Big Bertha golf club when he was playing golf quite a bit back in the day, and he loved it. He was one of the first ones to get one, and he was out at the golf course one day playing around, and he went in to get himself something to drink. When he came back out to his cart, somebody had stolen the Big Bertha golf club. So that's where the idea for Big Bertha's being lost or being stolen came into being with the song. And his daughter said, Daddy, he fumed about it pretty well, but his daughter said, you should write a song about that. So he started up a tune about it, and I'd written a few songs with him up to that point. And so when I showed up, he was working on it. And so all three of us worked on it together, me and Debbie and Carl. And so And so fast forward many, many years later, Ronnie Millsap records it and has the wherewithal to get a guy named Vince Gill, who is an avid golfer, to sing on it. So I'm thrilled with the record, and it sounds great, and it's doing really well. But I mean, how can you not do well with Vince Gill and Ronnie Millsap, two legends, and they're both still out there swinging away at it.
Absolutely. Well, that is awesome. I love all your music. I know we did a big feature on you. It's probably been 6 or 8 months ago now, but that was when I first got to meet you over the airwaves here. But been loving your music, and it was so great to, get in depth with your career. Today, we're going to be talking about a project you have coming out that is fitting for the season coming up. You have a Christmas album that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah. The Christmas album is what it's called.
It is called the Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I didn't know I got that right. That's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make it easy on people in the era of Google search, and search engines. So, I couldn't think of some clever, goofy name, and it seems like the more clever you are, the less people you reach when they start looking on a computer, on a search engine. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with the simplest title that I can think of for this. So I'm just going to call it the Christmas album.
I love it. We're going to be featuring a couple songs off of it today. But first, I would like to ask, what have you been doing over the past 6 or 8 months since we talked last?
Well, I live here in Texas, and I've been working a lot of places, playing a lot of venues here in Texas, East Texas, Central Texas, Houston area. So as to coin a sort of a newer phrase or a newer caption of all this, I'm growing my brand here in Texas, which I couldn't be happier about. I play a lot of towns here that have names that you may not know because you've never been to them, but I've been to them and I love them. The folks that I get to play for, they go, "When are you coming back and who are you?" Mm-hmm. So I play in places like Carthage and Kilgore and Canton, and I play in places like Woodville and Lovekin and Nacogdoches and Waco and Conroe and Montgomery, all kinds of Kemah, down by the beach. So I'm having a lot of fun playing every weekend, and I'm usually busy every Friday and Saturday, and I'm usually in some little town on a Friday, and then I'm in some other little town on a Saturday. So it is really, really a lot of fun right now for me, and I'm loving it because I'm originally from Texas, so I feel like I'm basically playing to the home folks here all the time, which I am.
That's wonderful.
And then, of course, there's more stuff coming up. I'm going to be playing a few of the Opries that we have. We have some Opries here in Texas. Several of the towns have Opries. There's a Opry down in the Houston area in Sugarland. So I'm going to be playing the Sugarland Opry in the middle of the month here on December the 12th, I think. And then I'm going to be at the Sugarland Opry in Pearland, which is on the 13th. Same kind of a show, same bunch of folks, just a different location in the Houston area. And I'll be playing in Brenham, Texas, the week after that, which is on the 19th, and that's where my new friend, Jeannie C. Riley, lives, of all folks. Aww. So I've got to hang out with her and have fun with her too. Everybody might be familiar with her from the Harper Valley PTA record she did years ago.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
She's a lot of fun, and as us believers say, she's a blessing.
Aw, I've got friends that live in Brenham, so I've actually been in that town. I've stayed in that town and walked their square and shopped. And
okay,
yeah, shout out to my friends.
I'll tell you what the date is later on. I'll send it to you. But it's a place called Brazos Valley Brewery.
Okay,
and maybe they can come in and check me out. It's on the 19th. So.
Okay.
So anyway. To answer your question, I've been extremely busy and extremely happy with it, so it's all good.
Well, you sound like it. You sound like you've been busy and enjoying it as well, and that makes me really happy because I know last time we talked, we were coming out of a lot of shutdowns and things, and I know you were anxious to get out there again and start doing things. So I'm really proud for you, Randy. I think that's great.
Yeah. Thank you, dear.
Yeah. Are you, I know you've done some things here in Tennessee quite a bit. You have a lot of Nashville ties. You've been on the Grand Ole Opry stage, featured on WSM several times. Do you have any plans to come back and visit Tennessee anytime soon?
Not immediate future, but as you well know, and as an entertainer and a musician, there is no immediate future. There's only today and tomorrow and next weekend and maybe the weekend after that. And so, my long range plans don't have anything on it, but you never know what's going to happen next year, because there's a lot of new things that are happening for me next year, and some of them I don't even know about. Some of them are in the development stage, and then some of them have kind of hit the ground. So, but it's all kind of, I guess, to sound like a mystic, it's all up to the stars.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm excited about the Christmas album that Randy Seymour has out. Hey, can we feature one of your songs off of it right now for the listeners?
Yes, I think we're going to probably have the opening track of the CD, which is called "All I Want for Christmas Is Peace." This was co-written by a friend of mine. His name is Roger Cook. He also wrote another very famous Christmas song for a soft drink commercial years ago called "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing." And Roger's written songs for Don Williams and for George Strait and different folks over the years. But he played me this song a few years ago, and I was amazed that nobody has really done anything with it. So I asked if I could put it on my Christmas album, and he said absolutely, he'd love it. So it's called "All I Want for Christmas Is Peace."
I love it. Here's Randy Seymour.
All I want for Christmas is peace. All I want for Christmas is peace. Let the guns fall silent everywhere. Every battle cease. All I want for Christmas is peace. All I want for Christmas is love. All I want for Christmas is love. No more hunger, no more strife. That's what I'm dreaming of. And all I want for Christmas is love. Bethlehem is calling. It's time to make a wish. Let's all leave our children a better world than this. All I want for Christmas is joy. All I want for Christmas is joy. Happy faces everywhere. Every girl and boy. All I want for Christmas is joy. is peace.
Beautiful song there. That was Randy Seymour with All I Want for Christmas is Peace. And I have Randy live with me here on the line. Beautiful.
Yes, the song is just gorgeous, and like I said, I'm surprised that a major artist hasn't touched this. Now, who knows? We could be talking about this, and next year it could be on a Carrie Underwood record, which I'm completely in favor of. I think the message of this song needs to be popularized, as well as any song about peace between human beings should be popularized. So a guy named John Goodwin co-wrote that with Roger, and both of those guys are just terrific sweetheart guys. And for folks who are there in Middle Tennessee, Roger sometimes plays out at some of the songwriter things and different events. So if you ever get a chance, go see him, because it's a great experience. He's got great stories, and he's a fantastic guy.
Absolutely, and I've seen him featured on George Hamilton V's Americana Central Time and in Viva Nash Vegas, I believe. So when he was doing that live from Kimbrough's, I think it was that I saw Roger.
That's right. Yeah.
Very cool. Small world of music community here, huh?
It's okay. It cuts down on the traffic.
No, I love it. I love it so much. For those of you just tuning in, I am talking with Randy Seymour, and we're talking about his new Christmas album that he has out, The Christmas Album. And I want to encourage all of you to go visit his website at randyseymour.com. And you also have this available for digital download, I'm sure, on all the different streaming platforms, Randy?
Yes, it's on Amazon Music and iTunes, and all the other things that you can download MP3 to your device to. You can order the CD from me at my website, randyseymour.com, and that's really about it. But for a lot of folks, that kind of is all it is these days, since there's no more Tower Records. So.
Yeah. Do you still listen to vinyl or CDs? Do you ever listen to physical copies?
Yes, I do. I listen to the compact discs in my car, and I have a turntable here at the house that I will listen to. And it's funny, I don't know if anybody feels this way who has a turntable, but I almost endear myself to the turntable much like I endear myself to a fire in a fireplace in your house. It for some reason, there's something very relaxing about dropping a needle onto a record and sitting back and I don't know. It just kind of puts you in a different place. So I enjoy that.
Good. I'm the same way.
I make it, and I make it into an event too. I'm not someone who just turns on music and then decides to go and vacuum the floor,
Right. Oh, I love that. My husband told me that vinyl outsold CDs last year for the first time, and I thought that was so cool. And you're seeing more and more record shops popping up. We've got a great one here in Columbia, Tennessee, Variety Records, that actually used to be an Ernest Tubb record shop. I think it was back in the 70s. So pretty cool history there.
Well, it's a format that I'm kind of glad didn't completely disappear, but between you and me and the 8.5 million people who are listening into your station
That's
right now, it's still sort of a boutique format, but it will remain that way because there are people who just love it. Much like, not everybody plays bocce ball, but there are people who love it, and that's what they want to do. So compact disc obviously have fallen victim to downloads and streaming and things like that. And therein lies the problem with compact disc is the packaging is not as attractive, and it doesn't seem like, to use the S word, it doesn't seem like it's as special as when you get something that's 12 by 12, and it's wow, look how big it is, and look at the photos, and look at all the stuff I can read, and oh man, you can take a whole thing out and there's like a whole book of the lyrics, and there's photos and stuff. It's like you get somebody's family album all of a sudden, and you're seeing a little piece of history. With a CD, you never really got that. No matter how many times they tried to make those packagings thick and cram stuff in it, the lettering was always like amazingly small, as if you were reading something that they were trying to have a disclaimer on.
Yeah.
So I don't think the vinyl format will ever go away. I think it will grow, but I don't see in any of these formats ever overtaking what's going on now, which is streaming and downloading and MP3 and stuff like that. And of course, I don't know if your listeners know this, but iTunes was specifically developed not to sell music to make Apple Music money. It was really developed so they could sell more devices and say, hey, look, this is a feature on our phone. This is a feature on our iPads. They use that to help sell devices. Because iTunes does not make that much money off of what they're getting. It's passed on to the publishers and to the record labels and the people who own the masters and things like that. So it's funny, people will go, wow, iTunes is just racking up all the money. Well, they're making there's a lot of downloads, there's a lot of money going on, but for the most part, iTunes is really just kind of like, they're just kind of maintaining how it is that people can have access to it. That's the only money they spend on it. They don't reap a big profit from it. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, that's enough of that. So,
no. Hey, I want people to give you a follow on social media. What's your favorite one to use, and where are you located?
Well, I'm located for everyone who really wants to see anything on a thing called Friends of Randy C. Moore on Facebook. Friends of Randy C. Moore on Facebook. That's better. I mean, I've got a Facebook page, and then I have a music page, but the music page is horrible to try to navigate, and my personal one, I don't pay a lot of attention to it a lot of times. I pay a lot more attention to Friends of Randy C. Moore. It seems to be more user friendly. You can get more information and find out things a lot quicker there, and see a lot more of what's going on with me there. So, and then of course my website randycmoore.com is where they can see videos and stuff like that, and download, because you can get to iTunes through that as well. So really only two places. I mean, I had a Twitter account, but I basically sort of kind of went dark on that. I do have an Instagram, but all these kind of things, the only thing that is really useful for me is friendsofrandycmoore.com. So just on Facebook.
Right,
so just check
right.
it. That's a way to go.
Okay, well, I am a member of that group, I believe, and I try to keep up
you
to
are.
date. Yes, and I want to shout out to our mutual friend Jenny Foley, who's tuning in right now. I know she's planning on tuning in. Sweet lady. Randy, so what would you like to say to the listeners tuning in today? But I want to close with another one of your Christmas songs off of this. But I know the fans, the listeners are tuned in, and they love hearing from you. I'm just going to let you have the microphone.
Well, since this is a Christmas album that we're talking about today, the Christmas album, I just want folks for Thanksgiving and for Christmas and everything, I want everyone to keep this in the forefront of their hearts and their minds. These holidays are really about peace and togetherness and harmony and all that kind of stuff. They're really not about gifts and even being on time and even dressing nice, or even they're really about being good human beings to one another and sharing something good. The reason why I call this the Christmas album is because all the songs are Christmas songs, and the Christmas message is something that the only reason I made the album is because I thought, the only thing I really want to say with a Christmas album is I want to just kind of reinforce the Christmas message, which for me is God sent his son to earth, but sent him as basically the most lowly, unheralded, human being. He was born in a barn, which I have a song on the album called Born in a Barn. So the message is your personal salvation, your soul being in a good place, and you being a good person is accessible to everyone, not just to the elite and not just to those who are privileged, but to everyone. Everyone can share this message, and everyone can have this in their life. It's not for sale. It's there for the taking, and it's there to be part of your person, and it's there for you to. It's there for you to live a better life, and when you live a better life, and you make sure that you take care of your own happiness, and you do that, you're actually doing your part. Whether some people believe it or not, the world is a team sport, and everybody's been put here to cover their assignment, so to speak. If you'll cover your assignment and you'll do your part, that's really all that will really help. That you can reach out and you can do stuff for other folks, but make sure you do your part. Cover your bases. Cover what your part of it is, and you'll be a strong link in the chain. So I hope the record can convey those kind of messages to folks, because those things are important to me, and I'm hoping to impart that to maybe some other folks.
Well said.
So the most shallow song that we can play now on the record, which goes away completely from that, is a song called "There Ain't No Santa Claus," and it has to do with the fact that over the years, and it happened to me as well as it's happened to everyone, over the years, people have tried to prove to us, including our parents, that Santa Claus does not exist. Mm-hmm. Well, I wrote a song basically telling people I have all of this evidence that tells me he exists. So, don't try to convince me. It's just not going to happen. So There Ain't No Santa Claus is the name of the record.
Awesome. Awesome. Randy, thank you so much for visiting with me today, and everybody that's tuning in. I appreciate you.
Brenda, thank you for your time, and you have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good Christmas. And as always, place no expectations on the day. Just make sure you place your happiness right in the center of it.
Oh, well said. Randy Seymour. You all go visit him, Friends of Randy Seymour on Facebook and randyseymour.com. Thank you again. I'm going to play this great song here off of the Christmas album. Here's Randy Seymour. There Ain't No Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yogi Bear, tricycle, 10-speed bicycle, Batman, Army Men, motorific jungle gym, Operation Moon Station, Mr. Major, Mad Mason, Daisy, BB gun, mousetrap, and battleship, barrel of monkeys and battling tops. Now don't try telling me there ain't no Santa Claus. Yeah! NFL, AFL, electric, football, Lincoln Logs, Harlem, Globetrotters, basketball, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, brand new fishing rod, Tonka trucks, give it them, Rock'em Sock'em robots, Sears Mini Bike, and a Seiko watch. How can you be telling me there ain't no Santa Claus? They say Elvis is alive and living in Kauai. The pyramids were made by the power of the mind. Neil Armstrong and a walking on the moon, courtesy of Kubrick in 2001. Macy's, Kmart, Sears and Roebuck, Western Auto and Toys R Us, Galleria, Gulfgate, Northline, Meierland, North Pole, Candy Canes. Gonna visit Santa Man, working every corner down at the shopping mall. Still you keep on telling me there ain't no Santa Claus. writing popular songs. So don't you try to tell me that there ain't no Santa Claus. No, you never changed my mind, cause you give me this guitar. So don't you try telling me there ain't no Santa Claus. No.